What's up, Internet? It's that time again. Time for Nerimon's annual YouTube survey. And so I'm going to answer the questions, and hopefully you all will too.
Why are you called that?
So I'm called Taylor because my parents were struggling with what to name me, and at the time my dad was still in the military, and he was working on anti-aircraft missiles, and one of the acronyms for one of the missiles sounded like Taylor, and Taylor was the closest name they could put to it, and that's what it was. But if you look back, you'll notice that in 1992, the year that I was born, there's this huge spike in males named Taylor, and I'm not really sure why. I've only ever met one other one, but apparently there are a bunch of us. So that's a thing. My username comes from my name. It is my first initial, my middle initial, and then my last name, because I wanted to keep it simple, and I couldn't really think of anything else because I'm not that creative. But my creative channel, which has all of my artistic portfolio on it, is called What Is Real. It's a quote from the first Matrix movie that I always enjoyed, so it just became my de facto username for things.
Tell us about your favorite school teacher.
My favorite school teacher is a man named David Anderson. He was my 4th grade teacher, and he won Teacher of the Year a number of times through various news organizations and things like that in Cincinnati. Essentially for just being this really awesome guy. He would get up every morning at like 3 or 4 in the morning and go into his wood shop and handcraft some kind of prize. And then at the end of the day, he would give it out to a different student each day, and they were the student of the day. And then he would make bigger prizes for student of the week, student of the month, student of the semester, and student of the year. And it was a big deal if you got student of the day. Like, it was just such a big deal. And he was such a caring man, and I still have all of my Student of the Day awards sitting somewhere at my house where my parents live. And yeah, he was a fantastic man. I'm very pleased to have had him as a teacher.
What's the strangest food you've ever eaten?
I don't eat a whole lot of strange foods. I'm kind of picky when it comes to food. But I have to say that one of the strangest things I've ever eaten is actually something that I just ate for the first time this summer. It was chicken and waffles. I had heard about chicken and waffles, and I was like wanting to try it. And if you haven't had chicken and waffles, you're probably thinking, why is chicken and waffles a thing? Like, why do you put those two things together? And everyone who's had chicken and waffles is like, oh, that's not weird at all. But I'm saying this for those who haven't eaten chicken and waffles. Go out and eat chicken and waffles. It's really unhealthy, but it's really delicious, and you just have to do it. Waffles, butter, maple syrup, chicken, barbecue sauce. Chicken and waffles.
Tell us about your first gig.
The first gig that I ever went to was actually Weird Al Yankovic. He was playing at Kings Island, and my dad and my best friend's dad took me and my best friend to the Weird Al show, and it was fantastic. He puts on an amazing show. It was on the Poodle Hat Tour, which was probably one of his best tours in my opinion. But then the first gig that I paid for and went to, like, by myself with a group of friends was a club show. It was at this nasty, trashy place called the Mad Hatter, and it was a bunch of local bands that none of my friends had ever heard of before, and I had, like, found one of them on MySpace. And it ended up being this huge drama issue where, like, we didn't take someone with us, and they were really upset even though they didn't want to go anyway, and the show was pretty mediocre anyway. But I just remember feeling like so cool going into like this crappy rock bar and just being around all of these nasty, scuzzy people.
What is your favorite place in the world?
My favorite place in the world is probably a place called Shake It Records. It's a record store in the north side of Cincinnati. It's essentially a converted house, so the ground floor and the basement are the record store, and then there's an apartment above. But they just have so much music, and the people there are so friendly, and they're always incredibly kind, and they get things right when they come out, and they play really good stuff in the store, and it's a really cool place to go and spend an afternoon digging through the stacks and really looking for music in the way that sometimes we don't in the digital world.
Who would you like to answer the survey next?
I'd really like to see Philip DeFranco answer the survey next. I don't think he answered the 2011 survey, and I know that he's kind of off separate from this circle of YouTube, but it'd be really interesting to see his responses. I want to know why he calls himself SXE Phil, and I just would be interested in his responses. So there you have it. That's my responses to the 2012 YouTube survey, if you respond to the YouTube survey, you should put your video down in the comments of this video, and I'm going to watch some of them and see who else is watching my videos and who else is watching Nerimon's videos, and get to know some more of YouTube through the YouTube survey. So, until next time.